Hi, this is Tom Mura from World Class Coaching with another in our series of animated drills. This week, I want to share a warm-up activity that is a great warm-up activity really for any age group, and it incorporates both warming up without the ball and then warming up with the ball. And I usually do this activity in the penalty area of the field, so it's relative to the age group of the team that you're training. But you could also just do it in a 20 by 20 would probably be appropriate, something that has enough room for the number of players that you have to move freely. And the way I always start this is I always start by explaining the activity, but telling the players that I'm not going to take any questions, and I just want them to listen closely to the instructions and then play. And the reason for doing that is to try to focus the players in, because it's a simple game, but so often players ask questions because they don't really listen to the explanation. So I start by having all the players put their ball in a certain area, and I'm talking to the players just outside that area usually, and I say, we're just going to play tag. That's it. The boundaries are the penalty area or whatever area we're using, and it's as simple as that. And here in the diagram, I'm showing players in a different color, but you could also just have the players carry the bib, and then those are the players that are it. And that makes for an easier transition. And quite simply, this is just begins by being a game of tag. And so there's two players it in this activity. You could have one with a smaller number of players or younger players, depending on the group that you have. But I'm starting here with two. And then what I give the instructions for the players, the other players, are that you should never be standing. You should always be at least jogging. Because it's a warm-up activity, we want to get the players moving. This is an activity I'll often use for wintertime outdoor training, just to get the players moving at the beginning of practice. This isn't something I would do in the summer at the beginning of a session running without the ball. It wouldn't make much sense to do that. They're already warmed up, quote unquote. Then they need to do technical warm-ups and get their mind ready to play rather than just physical. But this is a great one when you just need to get them physically moving. So it's a simple game of tag, and I'm on the outside of the area, watching the activity, and it's just as simple as basically playing tag as the players are running. So then the next thing I'll do is I'll say, right, now I want all of the players to have a soccer ball. I want all of the players to have a ball. And usually what will happen is one of the players will say, does that include the people that are it? Yes, it includes the people that are it. I want everybody to have a soccer ball. And so what we're doing now is we're just incorporating some dribbling into this. Obviously, it's going to be more challenging for the defenders than it will be for the attackers to do this dribbling, but that's okay. I mean, it's just another kind of a progression to the activity. So now everybody's focused on dribbling. It's a little harder for the taggers to get people, but that's fine. So we'll play that for a little while, get the players kind of focused on, manipulating a ball and either try to tag people or avoid being tagged. And then I'll say, right, stop. Okay, now the people that are it, I want them to give me their ball. So we'll take those balls out of the activity. And now the people who are it do not have a ball, but the people who are, trying to avoid those people are dribbling. But now the tagger's job is to touch the soccer ball with their foot, with the, tagger's foot. And so now if they touch the ball with their foot, the player is it, they get the penny, the person who tagged them gets their ball, and it just continues. So now we're talking about, can we protect the ball away from the tagger? Can we make sure, because we don't have to run away from them, but can we just protect the ball from them? So now it's changing and it's becoming more of a technical activity with the players focused on keeping the ball on the safe side of their body, using different strategies to protect it, whether it's simple shielding and turning to get away, or whether it's a move to beat the defender and get away. I try to emphasize that, look, you don't need to beat them. You just need to avoid them. You just need to keep, protect your ball away from them. So don't risk losing the ball by doing a move that exposes the ball. Make sure you're protecting the ball as you use whatever fake or move you're going to use to try to avoid them. Also, we don't want to just stand in a shielding position. We don't want to be stuck in one spot, because the longer the defender keeps you there, the more likely it is that you're going to lose the ball. So make sure that we shield it, but then look for that chance to turn and get away. or look for that chance to move into open space, and make sure you don't get caught in corners. Make sure you try to find open space. So, while we're still doing a warm-up, we're also talking about, keeping the ball close. We're talking about protecting it. So we're kind of working in more actual play activity into this warm-up. The final thing that I'll do is I'll say right now the defender can't simply touch the ball. I should say the it player, but also they're acting as a defender, can't simply touch the ball to have possession turnover. Now they have to take it. So if that tagging player touches the ball with their foot, but the player who had it can get there first before the tagger is able to, maintain possession, really complete that action, then they continue to dribble. If the defender can win it, the it player can win it, dribble it away, then they throw the penny to the player they just took the ball from, and now possession is changed. So now it's not as simple as just touching the ball. Now they actually have to take the ball away, which encourages then the dribbling players, I should say, to protect it. But if it gets touched a little bit, fight to get their body across that tagger, that it player, that defender, and make sure they protect the ball and regain possession, which is more game-like. So, this is a great little warm-up. Again, any age group. You could do this with U8s, U18s, and it's fantastic for kind of wintertime, cold weather activities where you want to get the players moving, engaged in the session right away, and who doesn't know how to play tag? So give this a try with your team and see how it goes.